What's up, mobile gamers? It's Johns Gigs. We have the new patch notes
Hello, T3
update.
Arena.
So we're going to go ahead and play it for you guys. It's only like 3 minutes, but more than likely I'm going to pause the video and talk to you about what the changes are and like how I'm thinking that they're going to impact the game. And I heard this was coming, and I'll be honest with you, first off, my thumbnail is going to be basically this screen right here where it shows you what you can do to switch a hero, and like you can change who you're playing and their ultimate during a match of 3v3. And I'm not excited for this. I'm going to let him keep talking a little bit just so I can
also be settled based on
show you guys
throughout a match. We first launched a featuring 5 vs 5 as a beta, and it's changed the meta forever. Bringing hero swapping to 3 vs 3 will drastically change how you play the game. With 26 heroes in T3 Arena, you can now swap to a different hero mid-match if something isn't working. Nearly 30% of the community's time is now spent on playing 5 vs 5, a lot more than ranked.
Interesting, I wasn't aware of that. So we are going to go ahead and stop right there. Let's see, what are we at, a minute? We'll bring it back just a little bit and talk about this, because I think this is the biggest change in T3 Arena for this update. And I'm honestly not excited for it. I really hope that I'm wrong. I hope that this change does not affect the game the way I think it's going to be. But let's say you jump into a quick 3v3 match and you're playing Johnny Jet because you have a challenge in the Battle Pass to play Johnny Jet for like 6 minutes in a match, or get kills with Johnny Jet, deal damage with Johnny Jet, that kind of thing. And the enemy goes ahead and they're in the match too, and they don't have any sort of hunters or AoE damage or scan meta legends, and they're just sitting there with, you know, like a Kazuma and a Diggy or something that's really easy for Johnny to take advantage of. And they see you're playing Johnny and they decide, oh, let's all switch to Hunter, Jabali, and Chemist and stick together, and we're just going to change how the game's going. And I'm really just not a fan of that. I think it's going to make solo queuing even harder than it is already. We're already having a lot of problems with the bot heroes where they just shoot you down, and if you lose a match, normally they make it the next match easier for you, but the bots are super difficult to combat because they just don't ever miss. And I'm just not really excited for this. I think that it doesn't address the issue of having a challenge with a certain hero. So let's say I jump into a match of 3v3 in Team Deathmatch and I have to play Johnny and somebody else picks him. Well, what I would like what I would personally do is, it's like you have like a quit thing in the game, or even if they just didn't even do this, that way you don't have to sit and have a legend that you don't have any challenges for in the match. I think that's what they should have addressed first, or at least the bots. They should address the bots as well. Maybe make them miss a couple shots or not be as accurate, or just not even throw you in a bot lobby automatically after you lose. But this change is going to be really drastic to the meta, like they said, but I think it's going to be in a very unhealthy way, because a lot of times you talk about how they gave you the ability to pick the legend once you see the map so that you can have a strategy. But if I'm sitting here and I see that my team hasn't really picked very good legends for their match, and the other heroes on the enemy team is like a Jabali, an Iris, and a Fort, then all I have to do, if it's a long-range map, is I switch to Gatlin, burn through those shields, and I counter them immediately. And then after they die, they then switch to something that counters Gatlin. And all it is a series of switches. And so after you just spend 3 minutes in a match that you can't quit, you just have switching and switching and switching, and everybody picks this legend to counter this legend and this hero to counter this hero, and it just becomes, do you have all the heroes that can counter what your enemies pick every time you die? And I think that's going to be very unhealthy for the game. The whole point was that the matches are short enough that you don't need to quit and you don't need to worry about losing, because you can just jump into another match right away. And so if you have a challenge with a Johnny Jet and, you know, you go into your match and they just counter you, then how are you supposed to do anything with Johnny? Because that's just going to be just as toxic as ranked is. You can't play 5v5 because 5v5 doesn't have Johnny Jet in it, and I think it's going to be unhealthy for the game. I don't really see. I get that they want to allow you to have strategy and change your heroes mid match, but I think it kind of gets rid of the purpose of being able to strategize when you first pick, and then you're kind of stuck with that hero. Because if somebody is going to pick Hunter versus your Johnny Jet, then what you can't really do anything. You have to switch off Johnny in order to win the match, unless you're like uber skilled with the Johnny and you can kill the Hunter over and over again. But I mean, realistically, when you have a game where you jump in and then it doesn't matter who you pick, the enemy can just counter you one kill in, and then it's not really, you're not going to be like, oh, this Johnny's really good. I can't believe we don't have a counter. We're going to have to work really hard to stop this Johnny. And then he's so good, he wins the match. He gets like 10 kills or whatever. And instead, what it's going to be is, I can't believe this Johnny Jet just killed me. They have one kill. We have one kill. I'm switching to Hunter. We win the match automatically if he doesn't switch to counter my Hunter. And I just don't think that that's healthy for the game. And I really, really hope that I'm wrong. Like, I don't want to be right at all. So, like they said, they are introducing some changes to make it easier on the hero switching. We're having a lot of technical difficulties just to even record this video. For some reason, it's only letting me record like 2-minute segments, but they're saying that they're going to change the ultimate core missions with some sort of new hero challenges to accompany the fact that you can change heroes. And I'm not excited for that either. I think it's gonna, what they need to do, if they were going to do this right, is when you change your hero, you have those challenges, and maybe it's like Johnny Jet, Jabali, and Kazuma, and it lets you, or like maybe you have to pick a Vanguard or something like that. I think if they changed that, it would definitely alleviate the stress of doing challenges. But overall, I don't think it's enough. And the ultimate core missions, you guys have seen me on my channel, I do those all the time. I'm really bummed that they are not keeping the ultimate core mission, because what if they release a bunch of second ultimates for all these heroes and they don't let you keep the coins or the currency or whatever it was called to swap those out? And so now all these second ultimates are here, and unless you open a bunch of rumble boxes, you're kind of out of luck. And I think that's going to be a little bit unhealthy for the game, unless they do it in a way where this new reward track or these new challenges give you the resources that you would have gotten, like second ultimates and stuff like that. Maybe they'll change the drop rates for second ultimates or the drop rates for passives. I think that would be something that would go along well with this update, that would make it not so hard, because I know a lot of people that have been saving up for those second ultimates. That way, when they release them, they can just directly buy those second ultimates instead of waiting to grab them from rumble boxes and such. And I just don't think it's going to be healthy for the game. I just don't know. I really hope that the lack of detail is
After this update,
going to
Hero
basically
Challenge
make it
event,
better.
You'll take on a series of challenges with different heroes. It's a
Yeah,
great
so
accompanying
like he says
event.
right there, it's great for accompanying the hero swapping, and it's with different heroes. So like I said, hopefully it's going to like combine the heroes and stuff like that. I'm not excited that they just didn't give us like T-gems or something for those of us that were saving up for second ultimates. So hopefully they don't come out with second ultimates in like the next update. That would suck, because then all those people that have been saving up, even though they said nobody's playing for the ultimate core missions, all those people that have been saving up like myself won't be able to get them. So that's kind of a downer. This is only like a short video. My commentary is going to be a lot longer. So we'll just keep going.
We'd love our old players to witness this evolution together.
Yeah, so we'll talk about this a little bit too. They said they were going to offer incentives to the older players who haven't got online in the last 30 days. I don't think that's honestly enough. I think it should be like shortened, so it's like maybe 15 days or something like that, especially because the resources that they show, we'll see if they show them
There
here.
are also a few other changes. First of all, we fixed the friends list bug, which caused in-game frame drops if you added a lot of friends.
So a lot of people have been
now
taking their friends list and getting rid of it, basically. I'm not seeing the reward track. There we go. So this is the reward track, and there's no T-gems, it's just coins. And a roll for the arcade, and it's just, it is not worth it. Like, I would not, if I was a player that hadn't been online in 30 days, I would not get back online just for this. It doesn't look like enough resources for anybody to get back on. You get one spin in the arcade, which is not worth it. Get some skin shards, not worth it. Yeah, I mean, the one big rumble box, maybe. But I don't think it's enough incentive for those people that have been playing, that haven't been playing for 30 days, that have been off the game for 30 days. So, not excited for that either. I know this is kind of a negative video,
Knowing
but
some of these friends aren't in the game anymore, you'll now also
I just
get
think
the daily first share reward, daily buy
okay,
share
that's
to your
good.
friends.
So hopefully those are T-gems.
We have also slightly updated the true skill algorithm.
Ooh, all right. So with the difficulties I've been having recording, we're probably going to jump into the game and talk about this. And we'll kind of touch on what we just touched on earlier, which was the changes, not to the matchmaking, but to the friends list. So a lot of people would unfriend their friends, and I wasn't one of them. So feel free to friend me in the game, I guess, just because I don't run like that. I'd rather have FPS drops than delete my friends just for some content. So I'm glad they fixed that. That was really good. Then you don't have to unadd your friends if you're a content creator. But we're going to talk about the true skill algorithm. And then this is where you can go over here and reclaim these rewards. So we'll do like a little transition into this so we can talk about it. All right. So I switched over to the game so we can talk about some of these changes because it seems like my recording, it's not really saving. So we're going to talk about these changes real quick. The first one is going to really go, oh, wow. Okay. So normally when you ready up for a match, you can't accept rewards or change your hero or anything like that. And I know you guys have seen, those of you that watch my content have seen that I like to go around and like change my heroes and talk about the different skins and compare heroes and stuff like that. And so you're not really going to be able to do that if you're readied up for a match. And they have changed that in the new update. But you can't actually see that right now just because obviously I haven't, we're already in a match, you know what I mean? So I'm really excited for that. I know a lot of people are kind of like, oh, that's not even a big deal. And honestly, I think it is. I think it's huge, especially for content creators who want to keep showing off while they're waiting for a match and stuff like that. Or if you're like curious as to what hero you're going to pick, or if you want to equip a, like if I wanted to equip a skin for Fade, I could then, yep, so this is going to be a tough one for sure. They have a Gatlin. Kind of a little bit of lag there. So, like right now, we'll see what happens when you die. So, we'll see how long it takes him to kill me. Yep, okay. So I'm dead. And the hero, oh, there you go. You can change your hero and stuff like that. So we'll turn this mic off. I didn't realize it was on, so we're probably annoying them a little bit, but basically what you can do now is you can change your heroes. Like I said, not really super crazy excited about that. Especially with how bad we're getting beat, it would be probably pretty wise to change a hero.
Maximum speed.
And I think she's gonna try to flank a little around here. No? Anyways, so I like that they are adding that in. That way you can change stuff when you're in the. I don't know how that didn't hit there. Interesting. So we hit her with our ult, but we died anyway. And the fact that you can change stuff within the menu while you're readying up for a game is really cool. We talk about the true skill algorithm as well. So not only are you able to change stuff while you're waiting on a match and accept rewards and stuff like that, which I think is really cool and underrated. Yep, we're dead for sure here. Try and get the Christina. And so, like right now, if I was in favor of the change, I would change my hero so we can counter them. But I really just want to talk about this to you guys because I don't think that it is necessarily the best change. And the fact that they're changing the true skill algorithm is really what we need, because it feels like you jump into a match and the enemy is just so much better than you. Like right now. Obviously I'm talking, so I can't really... you know, I can't really focus as well as I normally could. Let's see if she rushes in here. Oh, he's gonna push me out. So like for instance, we had a chemist for a little bit, and now they changed to a Judix. So right now, he changed so that he could counter the Gatlin, which is kind of nice. But I think it also is going to harm a lot of people who maybe don't have a lot of heroes, so they can't necessarily change to counter the next hero that they choose. So if he chooses somebody else's Gatlin, and this guy that changed into Judix doesn't have a counter for it, it's like, oh, that kind of sucks. Yep, see? He changed to Kelvin from Gatlin. Very, very interesting. So now we have to counter this Kelvin. And it's not exactly what you're wanting in a match. You know, I don't want T3 to just be, do you have the hero that can counter my hero? So as you can see, I'll just counter them with my playstyle and my skill. He picked Kelvin, I'm just gonna kill him anyway. So it definitely still works for those that don't want to change, but we're losing pretty bad until he changed to Kelvin. If he would have sticked with Gatlin, we'd be losing right now. Probably would have already lost the game, and then that true skill algorithm comes in. So if I haven't played Kelvin, and you know, I'm trying like, oh, I haven't played Kelvin, I want to switch to Fade, all this stuff, right? Then, you know, it's going to be difficult for me to actually play Zero Kelvin or Fade because my true skill algorithm is based off of all these other heroes that are a lot higher and I have better performance in. So it's going to put me in stronger lobbies regardless of if it's my first time using a hero, and I don't necessarily agree with that, you know? Obviously, you know, there's different ways that you can approach it, and it's not necessarily an end-all be-all, but they just beat us. So now, my next lobby is going to be a bot lobby, even though I don't ever play with Fade, or let's see, imagine I played Vincent, you know? I haven't played Vincent in a hot minute, and he's really low, and it's not necessarily going to give me easier players, and I'm going to have to struggle with the hero. And I'll show you guys this share button. So this is the share. It's the same thing as before, but you get rewards for it. And I'm just not really sure what they're thinking. It doesn't look like it's as big as a deal as I thought right off the gate as far as some of the other stuff. But the changing heroes to counter other heroes, it's going to make it really difficult because like you saw, they felt like their Gatlin play wasn't very good. So they changed to Zero Kelvin to counter my fade, and it worked decently well. He killed me twice, and I killed him once. But they were already winning, and it was kind of near the end of the match anyway. But imagine just sitting there, and every time you pick a hero, the other 3 people on the team counter your hero pick, and I can't pick Johnny Jet and do my challenges with him. I think it's kind of tough. It's a little hard to swallow. You still have like play 7 matches with Mark. Does that count if I go in with Mark and I switch to Osas? You know what I mean? You have a lot of things you got to think about, and it's not necessarily going to be easy for you to do some of these Battle Pass challenges or play your favorite hero. Let's say I'm sitting here and my true skill is based on these top 4 heroes here, Gatlin, Osas, and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, my true skill rating's pretty good. I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to come down here and I'm going to play good old Vincent. And I jump into a match and it's got people for my top rated heroes that I'm facing against while I'm playing Vincent, who I've never played him. I've never played him. He's a level 0. And it's putting me against people that are rated for my true skill hero level, which is, 26 where Gloria is or whatever, or 18 kills in a match when I'm playing Gatlin. And I'm sitting over here playing Vincent. It's going to be very difficult for me to get any traction with him. And then if I lose, my next match is a bot lobby, and they're going to always see where Vincent is and always one-shot him with a headshot or a body shot. Because he's pretty weak, but you get the idea. It's just like now T3 is a game of, do you have the hero that counters their hero? And I feel like before it was, can you play good enough to beat their counter if they picked one? If I'm playing Johnny Jet and they had a hunter, I just have to deal with it, suck it up, and try to beat the hunter. But now, if I'm playing Johnny Jet and they pick a hunter, it's like, oh, okay, well, then I'm going to pick a Jabali so that he can't break my shield very easily. And I just think that might be a little bit unhealthy, and it kind of gives it a ranked feel, if I'm being honest, because instead of you picking something to play and you get lucky and you have a hunter versus a Johnny, it's an easy game for you. It's only like 3 minutes and it's not a big deal. But now that you can just change your hero to counter the counter, so to speak, I think it's going to be a little bit frustrating for those of us that have a main or are trying to rank up a hero, because now I can't change off of Fade because he might not rank up as much. And if they counter Fade flawlessly with 3 heroes, then all my matches are going to be very difficult to win. And I just don't know if it's going to be very healthy in the long run. It does look like it's not as bad as I thought. So it's maybe going to be a little more relaxed. But if you run into people that know what they're doing, they're just going to die once and change to the counter of your hero, and you're going to be screwed. So let me know what you guys think about this update. Are you glad that they brought the switching? Because while I'm happy it's there, I think if they're going to bring all this stuff into the regular matches, like switching and changing ultimates and stuff, they should at least do a quit button. So if I jump into a match and I'm getting spawn camped, I can just quit, because that's not fun to sit there for 5 minutes and get spawn camped, and then what are you supposed to do? You can change your hero, but they're still going to spawn camp you. You know what I mean? So I definitely think they should have introduced a quit button, and it doesn't seem like some of the other challenges, like the challenges and the share button and all that, it doesn't seem like it is having the effect they thought it would. But we do have the hero drop rate boost, which is super, super awesome. I love it when this comes back. Anybody that sees this video, make sure you go get your drop boost right now. Like, seriously, go pick your heroes. You pick them. I can't do it right now because I have all the heroes, but you pick them, and then when you open a box, you have a better chance of getting the hero you picked. So make sure you guys go ahead and do that. It's really awesome. One of the better things that T3 has introduced. And let me know you guys' thoughts on the update, because I think I'm probably one of the only content creators that's concerned. and I will definitely be testing this out and give you guys my maybe a video with my full thoughts on just one change instead of like the overall patch notes like we did today. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Sorry for all the recording issues and stuff like that. I don't know why it's not letting me record when I'm watching a YouTube video versus playing the game. But hope you guys enjoyed the video. Obviously, drop a sub if you want. Let me know in the comments what your guys' thoughts are for the patch notes, and especially for the changing of heroes during a match of 3v3, because I'm definitely going to be taking a closer look into it to make a video for you guys. So, you guys have a good one. Peace out.